Qatar signing for 36 Boeing F-15QA Advanced Eagle combat aircraft on the 22nd of December was the latest in a series of fighter procurements that appear to fly in the face of operational logic, as the Gulf state looks set to replace the 12 aging Dassault Mirage 2000s with upwards of 96 of the latest multirole combat aircraft spread across 3 different but highly similar types. The $6.17 billion contract for the latest variant Eagle came just days after the Emirates signed a $6.7 billion deal with BAE Systems for 24 Eurofighter Typhoons on the 10th of December, which itself followed an earlier contract for 12 additional Dassault Rafales that were signed on the 7th of December to add to the 24 Rafales ordered in 2015 for an estimated total of $7.2 billion. In all, Qatar has so far spent more than $20 billion on its fighter procurements, and that figure may yet still rise as further options are exercised. For some years, Qatar has been building up its combat aviation capabilities with the procurement of the latest platforms and technologies. However, the increase in the Qatar Emiri Air Force's frontline fighter force, from the 12 aging Mirages that it currently employs to as many as 96 of arguably the most advanced platforms flying today, represents a massive leap in its capacity and capability. This growth in its fighter numbers is in line with Qatar's increased commitment to international operations over recent years, and also with the country's current crisis in relations with its Arab neighbours, as they effectively blockade the country over its perceived alignment with Iran and support of regional extremist organisations. While Qatar's reasons for recapitalising its obsolete fighters with state-of-the-art combat aircraft are well founded, what is perhaps most curious is its decision to do this with 3 different but highly comparable aircraft types. With most combat aircraft today being multirole, countries the size of Qatar will usually operate a single type to save on training, operations, support and sustainment costs. At a push, 2 types will be fielded to provide resilience should one have to be grounded for any reason. If 2 types are fielded, then each will usually have a distinct capability or set of attributes that cannot easily be replicated by the other. Many air forces, for example, operate the Boeing F-15 Eagle and the Lockheed Martin F-16 Fighting Falcon alongside each other, the former being a heavy twin-engine platform which has impressive weapons carriage and range capabilities, but is expensive to procure and operate, with the latter being a smaller single-engine platform that, though still capable, is cheaper to field in just about every respect. What is unusual about Qatar's recent procurements is that each type is a 4th-generation twin-engine platform, the combination of which will add massively to Qatar's training, support and sustainment burdens and costs, without really adding much in the way of operational advantages. While it is true that the Rafale, Typhoon and Advanced Eagle each has capabilities and attributes that are not currently integrated onto the other platforms, long-range precision standoff strike for the Rafale, low collateral brimstone for the Typhoon and the Advanced Eagle with its massive payload and range, the capabilities can all be integrated for a fraction of the cost of buying and fielding an entirely new aircraft type, and the performance attributes are near enough as to make no real difference. As well as questioning as to whether Qatar needs 3 different but highly comparable multirole fighter types, it also needs to be asked if it needs them in the numbers that it is buying them. Qatar had originally outlined its plans to procure 72 new fighters, but taking those already signed for, coupled with potential options for another 36 F-15QAs at a later date, the small Gulf state could have upwards of 132 new fighters by the time that the process is complete. Aside from the many and varied operational arguments against such an expansive and diverse fighter procurement program, there is also the very real issue of manning. Qatar has a population of just under 3 million people, which, when you start factoring in the age ranges of those who would be suitable to fly and support these fleets, as well as other factors such as those who would have the education, competency, aptitude, and even the desire to do so, there are not too many people left to choose from. It has been suggested that Qatar's reason for acquiring a French, UK and US fighter type is more political than it is operational, with the country tying itself to 3 much-needed allies in testing times. With these procurements, Qatar might be looking to curry favour at the same time as securing exercise slots, personnel secondments and the like. However, this supposition does not make too much sense in itself, as these same political ends could just as easily be met by Qatar buying something that it actually needs, such as maritime or land equipment, rather than an unnecessary and expensive third fighter type.